Chris Mitchell. Could Russia be taking advantage of the U.S. presidential campaign to make military gains inside Syria? Some military analysts are making that claim and stressing that the Moscow power grab furthers the human tragedy in the Syrian city of Aleppo. Global foreign policy experts believe perceived American weakness and inaction in the Middle East, combined with a lame duck presidency, open the door for Russia to gain a powerful foothold in the region.
They're going for absolute victory, and they're trying to effectively bomb eastern Aleppo into surrender. The Russians now figure, well, it's a good time to really achieve as much as possible in the last dying months of the Obama presidency, when there will almost certainly be very little pushback from the Americans.
As the only major city where rebels maintain a stronghold, Aleppo faces constant attack from Syrian and Russian troops.
The Russians have noticed there was a vacuum in the Middle East, and they're doing their level best to themselves fill that vacuum, and by so doing advance Russia's strategic interests.
Bombing of civilian sites, including hospitals, has prompted Washington to cut off talks with Russia about a ceasefire.
Russia and the Syrian regime have chosen to pursue a military course inconsistent with the cessation of hostilities.
Russia stepped in to help Syria's president stay in power about a year ago. That put it at odds with the U.S. and Western powers.
And that's what the Russians are doing, pouring everything they can possibly muster in order to help Assad. By contrast, the American agenda in both Syria and in Iraq has been extremely confused from the outset.
The situation got worse when Russia admitted deploying a missile defense system in Syria.
It's not quite clear why the deployment of the S-300 has worried our Western colleagues.
Analyst Jonathan Spire says this action is clearly intended to deter the U.S. because rebel groups have no planes or ballistic missiles.
So when you put an S-300 into Western Syria, what you're saying is to the Americans or anybody else, well, if you were thinking of putting planes up and acting against our allies, against the regime forces, we're ready for that, and that's going to have consequences potentially.
In the meantime, what's good for the Russians hasn't been good for the Syrian civilians.
As we are Syrian, we can't bear anymore to see children, they are killed in front of us and keep silence. United Nations is useless. They are killer, they are murderer, they are liar.
Spire says since the Cold War, the U.S. was like the sheriff in the region, maintaining a degree of order. Now that that's gone, there's a different reality.
When the Americans did not pursue their stated interests in Syria, then you end up with a situation of a very ruthless power, Russia, coming in, basically terrorizing a civilian population into submission before the eyes of the world.
It's unlikely that the tragedy in Aleppo and inside Syria will be over anytime soon.